Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 23rd December 2024. And yesterday I didn't post a current affairs class, right? So I will be also covering yesterday's current affairs in our today's class. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, let us see the first article. See the title. Actually, this is the continuation of our last class. So in last class I said about India-Kuwait relations, right? So there I said about what is the history between India and Kuwait relations and areas of cooperation, everything I said, right? And actually I said that this visit of our Prime Minister to Kuwait is also very significant because after 43 years, our Prime Minister, he is visited this Kuwait. Okay, so here from which subject point of view we can see? So this article is related to India-Kuwait relations. So this is from GS paper 2 under international relations. So what exactly you have to see? So the first one here is you have to see about geographical location of this Kuwait, and you have to see map, and you have to see in which organization this Kuwait is part of. For example, we have GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. And next important thing here is you have to see which are the areas of cooperation between India and Kuwait. And you have to see what are the challenges. What are the challenges between India and Kuwait relations? And you have to see about what is the present context. So in our Prime Minister visit, so what is the significance that we are going to get? Like which kind of agreements we had been signed with this Kuwait. It is very important. And this area you can expect prelims based question. And this prelims question you will be getting from the map. And next one is mains practice question you have to see. And especially you can expect 10 or 15 marker question from this India-Kuwait relations now. Okay. And already in our yesterday's or the last class, I discussed about what is the significance between India and Kuwait and which are the areas of cooperation we discussed, challenges we discussed. So challenges was actually during 1990s, the relationship between India and this Kuwait had been at a very low pace. Why? Because of one is India supported Iraq during this 1990 issue of Iraq and Kuwait. And even because of this Babri Masjid demolition in India also impacted this Kuwait. Okay, now let us see the present context. So if you see here, there were two sides signed memorandum of understanding. That means between India and Kuwait, we signed memorandum of understanding regarding exchange of defense personnel, the first one. And next one is regarding defense exercises between India and Kuwait. And next about supply of military equipment. And even we signed memorandum of understanding regarding culture exchange and even sports cooperation as well. Okay, so this is why this India-Kuwait relations is in news. So if you see some basic facts regarding this, Kuwait, it is a country which is located in part of West Asia, which is part of our Middle East. And if you have to see the bordering countries, so it is sharing boundary with Iraq, it is sharing boundary with Saudi Arabia, and it is sharing maritime boundary with Iran. Okay, and what is the capital? Capital is Kuwait City. And one important thing that you have to remember is almost all of these West Asian countries, they are very good at crude oil and as well as natural gas. So it is very important that we have to remember is, so it is the sixth largest oil reserves which is present global in this Kuwait. And if you're having good relations with Kuwait, obviously we can get oil imports from this Kuwait. Okay, and if you see the relations between India and Kuwait politically, so India was one of the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Kuwait, and we started in early 1961 itself. And after this, in 1962, one major event which happened, that is India-China war. So in that war also Kuwait supported India. And actually we celebrated 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations in 2021 to 22. And at that time, our relations was very high, especially during this period. During this COVID-19 second wave in India, we were like running out of with this oxygen cylinders, everything, which is very important for people who are having these extreme symptoms. So at that time, we got imports from these countries. And next one is Vice President and as well as Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2024. They visited this Kuwait so far since when we started this relationship between India and Kuwait. Okay. And if you see economic relations so far, so India has been a natural trading partner of this Kuwait. Okay. And especially economy of this Kuwait is dependent on some industries like shipbuilding industry, like pearl, fishing, maritime trade with India. And if you see the trade between India and Kuwait, as of 2023 to 2024, trade had reached 10.47 billion and it is around 34% growth which happened, okay, regarding Indian exports to this Kuwait. And Kuwait is India's 6th largest crude oil supplier as well. And because of that oil that we are getting from Kuwait, so it is serving around 3% of our energy requirements. And if you see about the investments, Kuwait Investment Authority invested US dollars 10 billion in India, and especially Indian PSUs, that is public sector undertakings, and as well as some private companies like Air India, L&T, Wipro, etc. They are even operating in Wipro. So because of this, we are having a very good economic and trade ties with Kuwait. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says that half of MGNREGS sites inspected in West Bengal showed flaws, says RTI reply. So there are two important keywords in this article. So first one is MGNREGA. So what is this MGNREGA full form? Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So in which year we came up with this? In year 2005. So what are the important key features of this program? So this program is committed to provide 100 days of compulsory employment. That employment, it is not like software or anything. So it is related to unskilled work, unskilled labor work, and that too in only rural areas. It is not at all related to urban areas. You have to keep this in your mind. Okay, and next one here is they are not only providing employment, even through this scheme, we are trying to address or to achieve the sustainable development goals. So we have some sustainable development goals like ending of poverty, hunger, education, decent work, and as well as health, etc. So those can be achieved because of this MGNREGA, and even we can ensure right to equality and as well as achieving this equal society. SDG also can be done because of this scheme. Okay, apart from that, you have to see about this RTI. So RTI is nothing but Right to Information Act. So if you see, there is some coincidence between these two topics. So those two came up in year 2005. So here you have to see what is the history, why we came up with this act, and you have to see some important provisions of this act, and you have to see advantages of this act, disadvantages of this act, or you can add challenges. So you'll be seeing this RTI in your GS paper 2 under governance, and even in your GS paper 4, that is your ethics, integrity and aptitude. Also in probity and governance chapter, you will be having this RTI. Because of this RTI, so we are ensuring accountability, transparency and decreasing of corruption in our governance process. So this will be a very important topic from both your governance and as well as ethics point of view. Now this article is saying that one RTA had been filed. in state of West Bengal. So in that RTI, people they came to know that there are many flaws in this implementation of MGNREGA. That means you have to see about what are the challenges faced by this MGNREGA now. For example, I can say that so many bogus cards or fake cards are there. And next one is even they are not coming work, but they are getting salaries. So this is a second important allegation. And apart from that, now government is saying that we have to use Aadhaar-based payment system. So it is also one important problem. And even government recently came up with one advancement in the scheme, that is they will be using the fingerprint for their attendance. And especially many people who are doing this unskilled work, they will be losing fingerprints, especially people who are having this disease of leprosy also, they will be losing their fingerprints. That means their right to work will be getting affected because of these advancements. So there are certain challenges which are having in this MGNREGA. So you have to see that on this challenge you may get your mains based question. Okay, now let us see what is this article saying clearly. So an RTI reply reveals that half of the inspected MGNREGA sites in West Bengal, they had significant flaws. So they are promoting or they are prompting center to withhold funds since December 2021. So there are some allegations that government is not releasing the funds. If government is not releasing the funds, what happens? How the state government can be providing the salaries for the people? If they're not getting salary, and how the income sustainability will be happens for the people? If they're not getting income or the salaries on time, then what happens? So the standard of living of the people will be getting affected, and even hunger can be increased, malnourishment or malnutrition can be get affected, and even anemia conditions will be increased in especially rural women, which is a long term problem you're having, right? So here you have to see what will be the impact of delay in giving salaries or withholding of funds by the central government to the state government. So here this article even saying that there are around 3.4 crore registered workers, they rely on this scheme for employment. That means if this large chunk of people who are relied on this, if they are not getting employment opportunities or if they are not getting income, then what happens? So it will be having a huge impact on rural economy as well. There will be increasing of burden on the state governments. So because of this, here we have to take this issue very seriously, and we need to have a proper management of the funds for this kind of schemes. Okay, now let us see the important points that you have to remember which are highlighted in this article. So first one is whenever there is suspension of funds which has severe ramifications for rural employment, and that will leave millions of people without income sources. So here what are the objectives behind this MGNREGA will not be get achieved. And next one here is there is also problem in inspection. So this study which find that almost 50% of inspected sites they had flaws. So because of this it is raising questions regarding accountability and as well as what are the oversight mechanisms that we are using for this MGNREGA. And next one here is there are also some ongoing allegations of corruption and even mismanagement, so that it will not only undermine the integrity of scheme, but also it will be having effect on public trust and achieving of sustainable development goals. Okay, so these are the things, and let us see about some facts regarding what is this Right to Information Act. So we have this Right to Information Act came into existence from 2005 onwards. So this right which empowered the people to get information from government officials. And next, if you see what is the importance of this RTI, so because of this RTI, now we are using it as a weapon to expose corruption in administration, corruption, nepotism, favoritism, red tapeism, etc. So because of this RTI, only number of scams came into limelight. For example, here's CWG scam, coal allocation scam, etc. And even through this RTA Act, that led to ensuring of transparency in the functioning of executive. So we increased or we enhanced transparency. And this one is we are also focusing on especially strengthening of democracy, because whenever the people given the right to ask questions, then only they will ask questions about how our government is functioning. For example, we can take a theory of Socrates here. Okay, and next one here is it will be helpful for changing of government work culture as well. So whenever people are having this right of asking information for any delays, now government is supposed to give information that why they are delaying for the service providing everything, so that we can make this government officials to answer for the questions which is asked by the citizens, so that we can decrease secrecy in this work culture of the government. And next one here is we can also give the teeth for judiciary to invalidate the laws. Okay. And let us see the next article. It is about include mumps vaccine in universal immunization program. So this article is very important. So I think many of you know about this mumps. Mumps in Telugu we will call as champagaddalu. That means there will be the swelling of one side of your cheek will happen, and obviously within 2 to 3 days another side the cheek will be also get inflamed. So it is because of infection. So here this infection can be prevented if you are getting vaccinated. Okay, so here you have to know about two important keywords. First one is mumps, second one is universal immunization program. So there is a high chance of getting question regarding this universal immunization program. So you have to see what is this program is about, and under this program how many vaccines will be given by the government for free, and you have to see about what are the advantages of this scheme, and you have to see what are the challenges. And just see about this mumps basic facts. It is caused by what, and what will be the signs and symptoms. And many of you, at least once in your lifetime, you will be getting this mumps. So if you are getting mumps, your immunity will be getting activated, so that you will be not getting infection once again. So for this, if you are including that mumps vaccine in this universal immunization program, so we can decrease the case of mumps. And one more thing here is, if any person who is going to school, like school going children are getting this mumps, so that will be like a very contagious, so that will be spreading to other students in that same class very fastly. Okay, so this is the one thing that I remember that happened in my school days. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. So this article is saying that Tamil Nadu had reported there is increased mump cases around 150 monthly. So every month they are reporting around 150 cases. So now here state government requested union government to include this mumps vaccine in this universal immunization program. Okay, alongside with MMR, that is measles, mumps and rubella vaccine. So we need separate mumps vaccine under this universal immunization program. So as of now we have MMR, which includes three, that is measles, mumps and rubella, but they are asking that we need to have a separate mumps vaccine. And now health officials, they expressed concerns over rising complications, particularly in adults, and they are advocating for improved surveillance and control through vaccination. So what is this UIP, that is Universal Immunization Program? So it is one of the world's most expensive public health programs, and under this government is providing vaccination for free for the children, especially not only for children, even for pregnant women also they will be giving some vaccines. So here whenever, how can we consider that a child is completely immunized? For example, before first year of their life, if they are getting all the vaccines as per this national immunization schedule, then only we can call a child as completely immunized child. So here under this program, so government launched in year 1978, but this name Universal Immunization Program came in year 1985. And its reach was very high, especially in the urban areas. And since it was launched in this National Rural Health Mission 2005, so here Universal Immunization Program had been integral part of this National Rural Health Mission. So what is the important aim? They want to give vaccine against 12 vaccine preventable diseases. Okay, so they include 9 diseases which are nationally, and next one is 3 diseases which are subnationally. So which are those diseases? So 9 national diseases are diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, polio, measles, rubella, TB, hepatitis B, meningitis, pneumonia, and Haemophilus influenza type B. And other three diseases are rotavirus. It causes just diarrhea in the children. And next one is pneumococcal pneumonia. And next one is Japanese encephalitis. Okay, so these are things. This is more than enough. And see here, tiger from Simlipal forest in Odisha strays into Purulia in West Bengal. So actually this article is saying that tiger from Simlipal forest in Odisha they came out and now it is wandering in West Bengal. So just see about what is this project tiger of government, how government is ensuring of increasing of number of tigers in India, and just see about where is the Simlipal tiger reserve is located. Okay, that is the thing. And next article here is global warming fight has a challenge for India. So this article is talking about one important thing, that is global warming. So global warming is nothing but increasing of global temperature. So this topic you will be seeing from your GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So you have to see what is this global warming, and you have to see what are the causes for this global warming, and you have to see what is the impact of global warming, and you have to see what are the measures to control this global warming. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see. Now let us see in detail what is this article is saying exactly. So recently you know that COP29 had been done. So in this COP29 climate conference, it yielded disappointing results. Even India is not satisfied with the outcomes of this COP29. So now here we are focusing on how India can achieve this target of carbon neutrality by 2070. So here there is increasing of global pressure on emission increasing in India. So here we have to take some steps to control this global warming for sure. So now let us see what exactly this article is saying about. So here COP29 conference which reflects a broader geopolitical tensions. So especially recently in US also the government had been changed. So because of this also we are having issue, and it will be always having less or more impacts on this climate commitments. And even here there are many international collaborations are there on climate change goals. So we have to focus on that. It will be very difficult for developing and least developed country, and India is part of developing nation, so it will be very difficult for India for moving towards this thing. And next one here is even many economies are pushing for emission peaking. So India needs to act or to avoid becoming global outlier. So it will be having potential compromising on the future growth. And next one here is with current consumption low, India requires a significant increase in electricity generation to support development. So as you all know that electricity is very important for a country like India to become developed country soon. And even recently there is one article that we are going for 100% electrified railways. So when we are going for this 100% electrified railways, then what happens? The problem here is the electricity that we are producing in India is based on the coal or thermal. That means it will be releasing obviously carbon dioxide emission. So this will be the problem now. And next one here is technological transition complexity. So actually we are mainly relying on existing technologies. So they are also posing a critical challenge for India in emerging solutions like small modular reactors, and as well as some important problems that we are having from a very long ago. And even there is a debate regarding energy mix. So there is a choice between renewables and as well as nuclear power remains. It is very critical. So we are having both pros and cons regarding the cost, regarding the land use, regarding different kind of energy that we are using, whether we can go for this energy transition or not. And this one here is the notion of decoupling of economic growth with energy demand is also one important problem now. So see that once. And next important topic, it is about undersea warfare. So I discussed about the submarine cables in the last class itself. I said about what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage, everything. And even I already shared one mains practice question based on that. Okay, so see that once. And in our Sunday's newspaper, I didn't get much important articles. So I saw this article which is very relevant. That is about 25% of India's total area under green cover, says survey report. So this article is saying about India's green cover. So now if you see the context, it says that India's total forest and tree cover has now reached how much percent? 25.17% of its geographical area, as reported in India's State of Forest report. So India's State of Forest report, it is saying that India is having just 25.17% of green cover or forest cover. So here this report is saying that there is a significant increase in the green cover, especially in state of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, which is leading an area covered, and even Chhattisgarh is also having the largest growth of this green cover. So here let us see what are the key things which are said here. So here this report says that there is a positive trend in green cover, especially if you want to achieve this carbon dioxide neutrality or decreasing of carbon emissions. Obviously we have to increase this carbon sink. So one of the important carbon sink here is forest. So here this article is saying that, or this report exactly is saying that, yes, government is taking some steps to increase forest cover so that we can improve biodiversity and as well as climate resilience. And next one here is we are also trying to increase carbon sink so that we can meet our India's commitments under Paris climate goal of decreasing of 1.5 degrees of temperature as per 1990s. And especially Madhya Pradesh state is showing that there is substantial increase of this green cover, so that we can understand that Madhya Pradesh state is taking effective steps to conserve forest. And next one is there is remarkable growth in Chhattisgarh as well, so that we can understand that there are some effective policies or practices that they are taking. And next one here is there is also loss in key biodiversity hotspot. So it is also one potential environmental or ecological impacts we have to take into consideration, and we have to improve conservation strategies. So those are the things that are there here. So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching. And one more thing is anthropology online and offline class are going to be started. So actual class, we done with the demo classes. And if you want to join, you can contact me directly. Number is 8074765513. And one more thing is, for the next 10 days or 12 days, I will be posting Hindu analysis by afternoon session, because actually modern history class are going on here from morning 8:30 till 2 o'clock. There is no class which is available for me to record the class. So for the next 10 days, I will be uploading class by 3 p.m. Okay, don't forget. So that is all the thing that I have to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe to Rathods IS Academy. Don't forget.